Well, we're all talking about the Oscars from last night.
Amazing.
The Academy Awards were last night, and the movie that won is called Coda. It's the only one I've seen of all those Oscar-nominated movies.
But no one's talking about it.
And nobody's saying a word about it.
No.
I'll just say it was a really great movie, but I when I saw it on Friday night, my wife said, let's watch one of these. So we watched Coda out of nowhere. I would never, ever have thought it would win. It's an uplifting, beautiful movie. I mean, just a great story, but, you know, it's not anything you'd think, oh, that's a best picture. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. Nobody's talking a thing about it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. Don't even think about it.
Nope.
What happened was there's a Will Smith altercation with Chris Rock. And this is what everyone is talking about today. And we want to get your view. We talked about it an hour ago.
What award was Chris Rock presenting?
He was
Best documentary.
Documentary.
Okay.
And so he's out, and he does a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, I've only seen the highlights. Biggie said he was doing little one-liners. And Chris Demm thinks this is sort of off the top of his head, which I agree. And he sees Jada Pinkett Smith, and she has...
Front and center. Her and Will are front and center.
Because he's
Best Actor nominated.
He's going to win Best Actor, we think, and he did. He won Best Actor.
That's right.
For King Richard. So last night, Chris Rock sees Jada Pinkett Smith down there. She has shaved her head. And the reason is she has alopecia. Which
causes, I think, your hair to fall out.
That's right.
Oh, that may be, yeah.
There's a coach in the NCAAs. He made the Final 16. I was watching the Sweet 16 the other night. I've seen him in other years, too. I forget what team he coaches. He has splotches on the back of his head. And I don't know if it's alopecia or some other skin issue, but that's what's caused it.
Yeah, plenty of stuff that can cause that.
Yeah. And so, you know, I have a friend. We have a friend who started losing his hair, and he shaved his head. You know, it gets to the point where you're trying everything you can.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a sensitive subject. So Chris Rock makes a joke about her being bald, and it's an old Demi Moore joke. You remember G.I. Jane?
Of course.
Where she had shaved her head for the role.
Not everybody remembers G.I. Jane.
It's a long time ago.
It's a long time
ago.
ago.
The late 90s.
That's an old reference.
That's an old reference. And he says, we're ready for G.I. Jane 2. And this is what happened last night on the American broadcast of the Oscars.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Chuckle, chuckle, she's bald. She's not smiling.
That was a nice one. Okay.
Okay, now at this point, he's ready to move on, and Will Smith gets up in the audience and starts coming toward the stage.
Uh-oh.
Here he comes. Now, I wonder what's going through Chris Rock's mind at this time. Probably it's going to be kind of funny. He's going to come up there and be like, don't you...
Take over the mic.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, or do like a fake, tussle type thing, like he puts him in a headlock.
Yeah,
Like a fake threaten or something. Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Or what we used to call in wrestling a work.
Exactly. And I just kind of feel like everybody in that audience are friends. And I don't know what their background is at all. I don't know if they even know each other.
No idea.
And Will Smith is... I've always thought
strides purposely toward Rock.
I mean, coming right up toward him and onto the stage and slapping him. Right there was a slap. I mean, a full
hard right cross
slap. Bam. And Chris Rock
and turns around and walks off the stage.
Right back to his seat. And boy, Chris Rock was thrown.
Wow. Will Smith.
Now there they go silent. And the reason they go quiet and cut away is because Will Smith is now cursing at Chris Rock from his seat. And
the show is on a few second
delay for that very reason. So when this happens, we have the audio of what Will Smith said from his seat. He's screaming at Chris Rock. This is from the Japanese broadcast, and we know what was said.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
That is...
Now he has to present a trophy and read the nominees or whatever.
That makes me feel...
that's cringy.
Cringy, exactly. I hear people say that. I don't say it very
That's
often.
beyond.
If I were in that audience, I would probably be like, just completely taken out. I can't imagine.
Chris Rock said right after that, immediately, he said, well, that will go down as the highest mark in Oscar history.
Well, he said, we have more of Chris Rock, and he was clearly shaken.
Oh, okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out for Best Documentary. Now, the beauty of documentaries, because they make you, when you watch one, you feel smart. Like you watched like you read a book or something. But all you really did was get high and watch Netflix. So here we go. The documentaries, the nominees are, let's just go to the nominees.
So he's messed up.
He's rocked.
Of course, he just got his ass
slapped.
Rock was rocked.
I think it goes to number one on the most memorable moments for Oscar all time. There's a streaker behind David Niven in the 70s. It came out.
Correct.
And then they read the wrong name of the Best Picture winner a few years ago when it was supposed to be Moonlight, and they gave it to La La Land.
There was Marlon Brando sent up a Native American to pick up his statue for, I want to say The Godfather?
That's my big.
And that was the massive scandal at the time, early 73.
So that's almost 50 years ago. They were honoring The Godfather last night. It's 50 years since it was out. But this one, when one major star who's about to win the Best Actor goes and slaps another major star and then screams and curses at him from the audience.
There are still people on Twitter who believe that Rock and Smith were in on it together, but it sure does not sound like it. They're analyzing it frame by frame that said that Rock was turning his head, but I think that's natural because Will was coming toward him with a full head of steam. Yeah. And he raised his right hand up, and the still images are just like it's like a boxing match.
That's right. That's right.
I've never seen anything like it.
Me neither. Now,
if you're Rock, do you continue with your nominations? You walk off?
I think he did the right thing. I think
he took it like a man.
I think
he didn't rub his face. He didn't do anything. He just continued on as best he could.
I mean, how do you know what you would do in that situation?
You don't.
I mean, you get slapped.
And Smith is getting dragged a lot. I mean, Biggie pointed out earlier that Twitter's kind of split. Some people are saying Rock was over the line, but many people are saying Smith laughed at the joke the first time.
He did.
And then
and it's on video.
Wife,
I mean, all this is on video because the camera's everywhere.
So, Dave, do you think this is defending your wife's honor or way over the line?
I think it's way over the line.
Too.
I think the thing when you go to a show like that and you're high profile like you are, like they are, it's entertainment. It's supposed to be entertainment. People don't want to see you being there and high and mighty. We're sorry that you have an issue, but I've seen other people been made fun of. I know it's not a roast.
Yeah.
But people have been made fun of, and people like to see that. They like to see people be demeaned a little bit. You're rich. You showed up in a limousine. You live in mansions. People want to see you kind of come down to earth a little bit more.
Is it over the line for Chris Rock because she has a
medical condition?
Yeah,
for him,
it's a medical condition. Maybe he didn't know that.
Well, in comic circles, I think they would call that punching down. That's nothing she can help.
Exactly.
It's not like she shaved her head.
Right.
I wouldn't have gone that route, but he did. Maybe he didn't know.
That's right.
Maybe if he did, that makes it even kind of funnier. But it seems like they don't even know each other. These people.
Yeah, but if he knew it was alopecia, which we don't know, I don't think he did. If he knew it was like a medical condition, I don't think he'd make that joke. I didn't either.
When I saw her come down the red carpet, I didn't know that's what it was.
Troy, you wanted to comment on what Will Smith did. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was uncalled for by Will Smith. But what's more impressive is the fact that Will Smith has, 30 pounds on Chris Rock? And he full hand slaps him, and Chris Rock doesn't go down.
He hardly flinched. Yeah, stayed with his nomination.
Sometimes it's hard to tell how big actors are, because of camera tricks. Like Sylvester Stallone is a very small person,
right?
And I'm never sure how big Will Smith is, but I know Chris Rock is a small fella.
Well, he towered over Chris Rock. He did. I mean, he's taller than him for sure.
I did see some things saying he wouldn't have done that if The Rock had made that joke.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that.
But that's not The Rock's persona. Chris Rock's persona is a little more, he just jabs.
It reminded me of that the tension they had on the Golden Girls set that we've chronicled recently.
Don't bring that.
Not even close.
The Golden Girls' names out your mouth.
If in mouth.
No, it isn't.
Take the names out your mouth.
Don't even try to compare the two.
B. Arthur did not go up and slap Betty White that we know of.
She called her an F&C.
I don't care.
She called her an F&C.
Behind your back. That's what people do.
Behind your back.
Yeah, not in front of her face.
All right, let's move on. All right,
See, Will Smith should have walked up there and been funny and grabbed the mic and said, "This is why everybody hates Chris."
That's
and then walked away.
I thought that's what he was gonna do.
Yeah.
I mean, if
this is why you're not hosting anymore.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly. Some little funny joke, and then that would have been fun. Not at all.
And really, the Oscars hurt for this. I mean,
you think?
I think so. I think First of all, he embarrassed the whole room.
So now, wait a minute. If you're in charge, if you're ABC and you're in charge of the Oscars today, do you think, because it's the thing that is being talked about most, do you think this is a good thing for them or a bad thing for them? You think it's bad?
Are they popping champagne bottles?
I think they'll get hits on their website or whatever they want to do, but I don't think it's going to help next year's. I don't think people are going to watch expecting this. No. And I think people that already hate the Oscars and hate Hollywood, and call it whatever they want to call it, they're going to hate it even more and say, "See, we told you. Look."
Well, do you think they could promote it next year by saying you never know what's going to happen at the Oscars? Is it as in poor taste?
I bet they don't promote it at all.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, violence. I mean, when you come down to it, you don't hit another person.
The cops said they would press charges if they want. If it's assault, and he walked on stage.
I think
and hit
it
him.
makes Chris Rock look really big to not do
I
that.
agree. Luke, you wanted to comment on Will Smith. Go ahead.
Yes, Luke P1 in Tyne Grove. If you listen to that audio, you can hear Chris Rock go, "I could go." Then he pauses for a second.
Yep.
And then he says, "Okay," then moves on from it, like he was about to just expose Will Smith on something.
That's exactly what I thought. That is a very telling line to me. He's
I didn't even notice
He says
that.
at the end, he's like, "I could." This is on the Japanese audio.
Let me tell you what he's probably getting ready to say is all the cheating stuff.
Exactly. He could have really ripped him.
Because Jada cheated. Well, they were
Yep.
separated at the time, I guess, but she was with somebody else, and Will Smith knew about it. And there's memes that go around with crying Will Smith.
Thank you, Luke.
When they're talking about the cheating. So I'm sure Chris Rock is going, "Look, I could have said a lot
I went easy
more.
on you guys.
I went G.I. Jane, but I could have gone full on your family."
This is we have exactly what I thought. He's like, "I could do so much more."
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
See, he's like, I could really rip you right now. And I think
But I thought that my understanding of the Jada Pinkett Will Smith relationship is that they were open and everybody knows
They weren't, and
the
they
other
made
people.
They made a joke about that earlier in the night, where one of the what's one of the hosts' names?
Schumer?
Wanda
Schumer,
Sykes,
Regina
King.
Hall.
Yeah, she says, "I'm up here."
It's not Regina King.
Hall. So the other two introduce themselves.
Keep her name out your mouth. Keep Regina's name out your mouth.
She comes up and says, "And I'm single." After the others introduce
that was
themselves.
Regina.
Okay.
And she says, "And I've got this list, and people tested positive." And she starts calling up all these Javier Bardem and the kid from Dune and Cooper, what's his name?
Bradley
calls up all
Cooper.
these guys and says, "Now you guys have to come back here, and I've got to swab your throats." And she says, "Oh, and Will Smith, Jada, you don't mind, do you? Because you guys are, well, forget it." So she made a
They've
joke.
already referred to it.
They had already referred to it. This was before all this went down.
And he doesn't like I saw him recently interviewed on CBS Sunday Morning, Will Smith, and they asked him about infidelity. He goes, "There was never any infidelity in our marriage," and that's how he left it. He was very. He didn't like that line of questioning. Yeah, he said there's no infidelity in our marriage, and I thought there was. I thought she cheated on him, and we knew she cheated on him. But
I always thought that the gist of her podcast, of Jada's podcast, was that we have an open relationship.
Yeah, maybe.
So they had taken hits earlier in the night.
And don't you know when
Not
you
literally.
go there for Oscar night, you're probably going to get some hits. The point is, I think Chris Rock knows there's a lot of material here that I'm not doing. I
took it real easy.
Exactly.
And he even says, "It was a G.I. Jane joke."
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I purposely made this a bad joke.
I mean, Will Smith.
You're supposed to know comedy, Will Smith.
That's too far. Jeremy, you wanted to comment on Will Smith and Chris Rock last night. Go ahead.
Hey, Jeremy P1, and how y'all doing this morning?
Wonderful. Thank you.
My opinion, any self-respecting man is not going to let somebody talk about his wife like that. I understand he's a comedian, but I believe it was Dave was saying it's not a roast.
So you think he was justified in going up there and smacking Chris Rock?
Oh, I think he was more than justified.
Wow. I don't. I think that's over the line.
There's an interesting take that has not been voiced yet. Is why didn't Jada Pinkett Smith say something about herself? Then they had 3 women hosting the Oscars. They tried to be more inclusive. Why does a man need to defend his wife?
Well, I'd be interested to see what my wife has to say about this because
You're more traditional.
I'm more traditional. I wonder.
But you're also a bit of a milquetoast.
As cowardly as they come. So the question is,
Which is it?
I think he would have been better served to say something about it later, like, hey, don't talk about my wife that way. I don't think you need to go up there and slap somebody. You can say that was uncalled for, and she's got a medical issue, and I'll leave it at that. But Chris Rock is...
Does he have a history of violence that we know of?
Not that I know.
Smith?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I've ever
He's
heard.
supposed to be the nicest guy in the world. I mean, that's his persona, I think.
Bad move.
Tracy, you're talking about. But listen, it's very, very split. The previous caller, a lot of people support that, saying you don't talk about somebody's wife like that.
Take the name out your mouth.
What he did was criminal.
It was. Tracy, you're talking about Will Smith going up on stage. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning. P1 here in Charlotte.
Thank you.
So I have the impression that there is some history. There's got to be some history there where maybe Chris Rock has said something in the past or what have you, because they rehearse these shows. They rehearse the Oscars before it actually broadcasts live. And even though you see where Will Smith, he kind of chuckles in the beginning, it's almost as if it's like, yeah, okay, we're really going to go here now kind of thing. And it was so freaking awkward, of course, afterwards, because if you look at the videos, if you look at the look on Lupita Nyong'o's face, and then, even the category with Questlove that won afterwards, I mean, the audience was shook.
Oh, yeah,
and then
for real.
Puffy
Yeah.
comes on,
No doubt.
and then Puffy comes on, and he's like, yo, hey, I didn't even expect this to happen, but hey, we need to settle this like family, talk about whatever. But I got the impression there was some history where maybe Chris Rock has maybe said something before, and it was like, hey, look, let's not even go there.
You may be right. That's a good possibility.
And you're right, they do rehearse, but I don't think that they rehearse with the full
I don't think Will Smith
audience
isn't
there.
there.
And to me, that sounded like a Chris Rock riff.
Just a quick throw in, ad lib. Thank you very much,
because,
Tracy.
like you said, the Smiths are sitting
Front and center.
literally front and center.
He sees her. And you should see poor Nicole Kidman. She's shocked.
Looks like she's pale as a ghost. Well,
She's always...
Take her name out your mouth.
what?
Oh, you gonna go up on Nicole Kidman now?
I want her name in
We
my
talking about
mouth.
pigment?
I want it in my mouth.
You talking about her pigmentation? You take her name out your mouth. Oh,
You know what Tucker Carlson's headline is going to be tonight? Black on black crime at the Oscars.
This is liberal Hollywood.
Well, Denzel Washington was the one that took him aside and told him to calm down.
yeah. Well, he's a mentor to him, and
Yeah.
yes, that's exactly right.
I saw photographs of Denzel and Tyler Perry
Yeah.
with Will Smith afterwards. Like, dude, get it together.
That's true. We have an emotional speech from Will Smith. I told Biggie to cut it down, way down.
I don't know if the part's in there, but he mentions Denzel.
He did. I told you to cut that out.
Yeah, but I thought the line, when I heard the line, he said, it made me think of Chris Kelly for some reason. When he said that Denzel said to him, when you're at your top moment, your very top is when the devil comes for you.
That's right.
And I don't know why, but I pictured Chris Kelly as my devil.
You're a white devil?
Yeah.
White devil. The white devil comes for you.
Well, I've called you the white devil.
I know you have. I know you have. Jody wanted to comment on this. Will Smith versus Chris Rock. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Jody, and I'm a P1, so I enjoy watching y'all's show every day to work.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Anytime I believe that Chris Rock did the right, that Will Smith did the right thing. My husband said the same thing. If someone, I had a disorder, and if someone was to speak on about me, my husband would probably do the same.
A lot of people agree with that. A lot of people are saying that. But to me, you don't have to go slap somebody for that. He could have yelled from the audience. He could have handled it later, really in any way. But to go punch somebody, don't you think that's over the line?
Right. No, I actually, for if you have a disorder and it's something you can't control, people need to take. So some things are just out of bounds.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. The question then becomes, how well known is Jada Pinkett Smith's condition? Because I did not know until this morning.
Right.
I mean, I saw her in the audience early in the show, and I thought, well, she just shaved her head. Right. That's just her look.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she did because of alopecia.
Yeah, and I wonder if Chris Rock knew. Who? I go back to Golden Girls on this. B. Arthur called Betty White.
Dave, can you move the plexiglass and slap him?
I wish I could reach over there right now. I can't reach.
Oh, I wish this plexiglass was down.
But it's Hollywood. These people are actors. They know the game when they go into these things. It's a show. It's not just it's just not just a meeting
But you
of
don't
people.
make fun of somebody. If somebody's got cancer, they're not going to make
She didn't
fun.
have cancer.
I know, but let's say she had shaved her head because she had cancer and he didn't. you don't make fun of that. You know, you don't. There's
I've
certain
heard
things you
worse
don't
than
make
that.
fun of.
People that make fun of people right to their face in Hollywood because they're entertainers. They're supposed to get this.
Jeremy, one more quick comment on Will Smith slapping Chris Rock last night at the Oscars. Go ahead.
Hey, this is longtime P1 Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
I just feel like, you know, I'm from Davidson County. I'm a good old boy, and if I've never been married, but you know, I understand someone speaks badly about your other half, you're going to react.
Well, that's what he did, and a lot of people feel that way.